And then the lymphatic system, I personally learned a ton about the lymphatic system and its actual like physical function and how we're mainly water, right? But people only talk about like, well, they don't even mention, I haven't heard many people talk about what that water is, except maybe blood. And blood is only 30% of that water, and that actually has a pump. Lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. It just has movement and or electrical magnetic foods that can flow that as well. So talk about the lymphatic system a little bit and the importance of that. I think that's also why people's immune systems are pretty shot, because they're not moving lymph well and filtering. So
that's right. Yeah, with that system, I like even the water part. I haven't really heard anybody say too much about water in the lymphatic system as well. Numbers 5:15, you probably heard before as well. There's a teaching in the Bible about the priest using the water as a lie detector test. He tells the lady to he takes dust from the ground of the tabernacle, and of course this is representing our body, and the dust represents the egotistic thoughts of the ground in the world.
So this sporadic thinking doesn't crush the head of the serpent and transmute the cells and harmonization to experience heaven on the earth. So as we ascend in consciousness, the hyaluronic acid will produce the effects. The hyaluronic acid represents the veil, which is the epidermis, the skin, the tissue, will produce the dehydrated images of the water, interpreted.
And he puts it in the water, and he then that's how it says how he curses the water, and then he speaks to the lady with the water over his hand. If you're lying, like a lie detector test, then this water is going to make you sick. But if you tell the truth, then it won't. Over the same cup of water. And that's how they actually use lie detectors test through water. And it was a severe one. Instead of seeing a heart spike, they'll fall sick. Pretty wild. Wow. But and because only the heart condemns you, as the word says. And
right.
They were basing it off of there. And same thing in our body. We have all this water everywhere, and it's condemning us with sickness by the way that we think or the way that we speak, even in our consciousness and the way that we respond. They say movement creates longevity, and it's not about having a healthy lymphatic system. It is, but also a moving one, flowing one with.
That is a healthy one, right?
That's exactly right. Without having the blood, they call it a magnetic therapy for the blood, if you've seen that. And a lot of times the blood ends up getting clogged up and tensed up, and it's shows that the root's coming from thoughts alone.
Wow.
But it's wild how all this has one simple core to it all, and all from the thoughts are like currents of electricity and magnetism.
Wow.
Electromagnetic. Right. Consciousness is actually electromagnetic, and as we're placed in the body.
If we in our bodies physically are 70 to 80% water, and like I said, only 30% of that's blood. Blood, if it gets acidic at all, we're dead. But if the lymphatic fluid, that can get fairly acidic and slow us up a lot. So even someone who has a very acidic environment and they've eaten really, really low quality foods for most of their life, they don't move much, they can really stuff up. And that's actually what causes, disease and even cancer is stopped up acidosis within different organs, glands, and within the body. And the body actually forms these things to lock up so that the rest of the body doesn't get that dysfunction moving through it. So it actually, cancer in a way is trying to save us by not letting it flow through, even though it tends to, but we got to move the lymphatic system through a lot of different things. Practically, I do like dry brushing when I wake up, hot, cold therapy will do that, a little bit of movement, but even foods with the alkaline thing as well. And we can talk about food later and how we don't want to have our conscience condemn us, and we can live changing actually the DNA structure of the food we put in, but not also living recklessly and just throwing all that in, not consciously, because that chemical structure will mess us up. And so I did a personal, like a detox where it was mainly just fruits for a while because of the electrical charge on that. And I empowered it with a bunch of herbs and things. I mean, dude, some amazing things happened, like amazing things, and it totally touched my brain.
Yes.
And so there's even a clarity, the colors are more vibrant and clear, and a lot of big things. So it's very exciting. It felt like a fast, which we call feasting, right? So yeah. So we'll get into all that stuff, but lymphatic system is so underrated and not talked enough about. And the medical professionals just want to obviously like put a pill on it, but the lymphatic system moves everything around and makes it all function.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. When you're doing the dry fasting and with autophagy, as you know, that you're running off of your toxins, and that starts to polish up the old cells, That's the cool part about that, because since we're feasting or fasting in that area, we get to transmute the free radicals once again and have them serve us in that aspect, and they're going to be our gasoline, or our Uber drivers, and we're going to see a lot of toxic stuff in our projection world also leaving as well, you know.
Yes. Yeah. No, I do want to cover fasting in like later towards the end and the importance of it. And shout out to Kirby Delenerol, man. I love you a lot, and he was a big connection point even of us. But he taught so much to me about fasting, communion, and I love so much that he's actually bringing body awareness to the world. It's a beautiful thing. So that's shout out Kirby. I love you. Look forward to meeting you.